Let us join our palms together. Good morning to Reverend Yeowon.
Good morning. It's good to be here with you. Today, we see our world filled with suffering. On the outside, we witness wars, divisions, and conflicts, causing deep pain across the globe. And on the inside, our minds can feel like battlefields too, struggling with discrimination and resentment. Against this backdrop, I'd like to talk about the ethics of threefold unity. This concept holds a timeless vision for achieving grand unity and harmony among all of humanity. It may feel a little unfamiliar, especially for the new people here, but it's a core teaching of Won Buddhism. And the direction of this teaching is focal point for the whole of humanity. So I hope you open your heart as we take some time to explore it together. Some of you may be familiar with Cardinal Master San, the second head Dharma master of Won Buddhism. But have you ever wondered how founding Master San viewed him? The founding master once said, "My mind became his mind, and his mind became mine." Why did he say this? I believe today's talk will help answer the question. Founding Master San, the founding teacher of Won Buddhism, was born in a poor farming village on the Korean peninsula during one of the darkest periods in history. Despite having no guidance from a teacher, he reached great enlightenment through his own practice. After this, he observed the broad trends unfolding in the world. He foresaw that with the development of scientific civilization, the human spirit, which should be making use of material things, has steadily weakened. And humans, therefore, cannot help but be enslaved by the material, ultimately leading to the turbulent sea of suffering in their lives. Deeply saddened by the suffering he saw coming from these illnesses of mind, founding Master San prescribed a remedy to heal this pain. His prescription was none other than the great way of Yeowon, the great way of Yeowon, one circle, with the vision to build the world of Yeowon, the world of Yeowon. When we hear the phrase, great way of Yeowon, we may think of the Won Buddhist doctrines like the truth of Yeowon-sang, the threefold study, and 8 articles, fourfold grace, and 4 essentials. But when we say the word of Yeowon, the word of Yeowon, it's harder to picture exactly what kind of the word it is. It's like trying to build a huge house without knowing what the blueprint looks like. After Cardinal Master San ascended to his role, he faced a difficult 20 years marked by fierce oppression from the Japanese occupation. The turmoil following liberation in 1945, the devastation of the Korean War, and the hardships of his prolonged illness. Despite these challenges, he dedicated himself to fulfilling founding Master San's great vision of creating the word of Yeowon through the great way of Yeowon. It was during his final days that he left us the ethics of threefold unity as his parting counsel, providing the essential blueprint for constructing this word. Master Chongsan revealed that the word founding Master Sotaesan envisioned was truly meant to be one word. He not only clarified this, but also mapped out its structure in detail, presenting the ethics of threefold unity as both a universal and timeless ethic for all humanity. In his understanding, the essence and entirety of Sotaesan's great way of Yeowon is a grand universal ideology that sees the entire world as a single household, and all humanity, all living beings as one family, aiming to deliver and create a world where everyone lives and enjoys life together. He received this understanding through a direct heart-to-heart connection with his teacher. Consequently, one Buddhist order must continue advancing towards building one word through the great way of Yeowon and the ethics of threefold unity. And with our continued efforts, I believe the word will ultimately follow this path as well. Before diving into the ethics of threefold unity, I want to take some time to clarify the meaning of unity or one. When we say one, we are not referring to just a numerical one, like in 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, one refers to composite unity. Like when you say, you and I are one, not two, or when a teacher and student are one. This doesn't mean eliminating all differences and enforcing uniformity. Rather, it's about acknowledging the existence of others as they are and peacefully coexisting with them. Cardinal Master Taesan expressed this beautifully when he said, "All things in the universe that unfold before our eyes appear in countless distinct forms, each different in type and number. However, they are, in reality, all ultimately emanation of one truth, one energy, a great household. Thus, the world is a single household, and all living beings are our closest kin. What could be greater than the universe itself? What could be greater? It is the mindset that sees the universe as one. When we view this world as one large household and see all humanity and living beings as one family, where can we find a greater ethic than this in the world? The full text of the ethics of threefold unity is in the bookmark. I made it for you. Do you have one? So let's read it together. With one truth in one world, as one family and one household, as one workforce in one workplace, let us build the word of Yeowon. In summary, it can be broken down into 3 key principles. 1. Unity of the source of all principles. 2. Interconnectedness through a single vital force. And 3. Unity of enterprise. First, have you ever wondered what we mean by unity of the source of all principles? It means all religions and churches should achieve a grand unity and harmony by understanding that their principles are all derived fundamentally from a single source. In this world, we have many established religions like Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism, and more. Though the teachings may differ in forms and means according to different eras and regions, if we seek their essence, we find that they point to a single truth. The Buddha referred to this truth as Tathagata or Buddha. Confucius called it a grand ultimate. Jesus referred as God, and founding Master Sotaesan described it as Yeowon. Therefore, when all religious adherents around the world come to understand this relationship, letting go of any sense of superiority and exclusivity tied to their own beliefs, they will harmonize greatly. So in my last talk, I mentioned Cardinal Master Taesan's vision of you are, and it was rooted in the thoughts of the founding Master Sotaesan and Master Jeongsan. So what about the second one, interconnectedness through a single vital force? What does that mean? It means understanding that all humans and sentient beings are fellow living beings, connected through the same vital energy. By doing so, we should strive for a grand unity and harmony. If we dig deeper, we find that their fundamental energies are all interconnected as a single vital force. And from the perspective of viewing the entire universe as one home, all human beings are like siblings. And not only humans, but also other living creatures like birds or insects are all originally connected through this same great vital energy. I remember my teacher feeling a deep sense of compassion for the earthworms that came out during the rain, worried that they might be crushed underfoot. It was as if he felt their pain. He seemed to truly understand that all living beings are part of the same family, connected by this vital energy. When everyone in the world awakens to this interconnectedness and achieves a grand harmony, all races and nationalities will come together as one family, fostering friendship and peace among themselves. And finally, what does it mean to talk about unity of enterprise? Put simply, this principle asks us to recognize that enterprises and ideologies work together as a force for the development of the world. In our world, there are countless beliefs and systems, each pursuing different ventures. As a result, their ideologies and methods sometimes oppose one another, while at other times, they complement each other. Capitalism and communism are one example of this. However, when you closely examine their source, their fundamental purpose does not diverge from wanting to make this world a better place. Cardinal Master Jeongsan taught that even what is considered unwholesome plays a role in helping awaken us to what is wholesome. In this sense, he said, all enterprises are essentially part of the same mission. So I was deeply moved by this perspective. Then all enterprises in the world will constitute management of the single household and will thereby encourage each other and advance in tandem. Can you now begin to envision what kind of great house One Buddhism seeks to build? Throughout human history, there have been countless instances of people failing to recognize this truth, building walls and boundaries that create divisions. and separating us from them, which has sown the seeds of unhappiness in the world. The most fundamental reason for ongoing suffering in today's world lies in this very issue. If we do not quickly unite as one household, humanity will inevitably confront severe challenges in the future. Therefore, to overcome the crisis we face today and establish world peace, the spirit of ethics of threefold unity must spread everywhere as a unique blueprint for constructing the one world. However, it's essential to understand that the goal is not to discard all ideologies and beliefs except for the ethics of threefold unity or the grand universal ideology. While there are numerous viewpoints such as nationalism, individualism, establishing the spirit of grand universal ideology, and managing other ideologies on that foundation can ultimately lead to success and benefit the whole. The COVID-19 pandemic clearly illustrates that we are moving toward this one world. It has served as a stark wake-up call, signaling that without mutual coexistence and shared prosperity, humanity will find it increasingly difficult to survive. So the question remains, how can we each of us realize the ethics of threefold unity and work together to build a great house according to this blueprint for one world? First, we need to take an interest in and study the grand vision and plans of our teachers. For instance, Cardinal Master Taesan dedicated his entire life to becoming one with the founding Master Sotaesan and second head Dharma Master, Master Jeongsan, deeply contemplating how to bring their vision into reality. As you can see in the material, page 25. Page 25. To realize the unity of the source of all principles, he envisioned establishing great meditation academies in every nation to promote Yeowon education, helping people understand that the highest truth of all religions are one, encouraging them to connect, harmonize, support, and enjoy one another. To achieve the interconnected through a single vital force, he proposed creating training centers of the threefold unity in all countries to conduct Yeowon training. This would foster a grand unity of the world's political, religious, and ethnic ideologies, leading to a single truth where we can all live together in one world. For the unity of enterprises, he recommended establishing 4 major service associations in the world's nations to eradicate ignorance, disease, and poverty in both the human spirit and body. He also called for veneration of the public-spirited individuals and the creation of the Yeowon shrines to embody the idea of embody the idea of returning to a single truth and a single enterprise. Moreover, he emphasized that with the presence of the United Nations UN and the United Religions UR, we should work together with a single-minded commitment between government and religion to realize the ethics of threefold unity. Ultimately, if this global infrastructure is established and implemented, people will truly be able to learn and teach the ethics of threefold unity, moving toward one word, the word of Yeowon. Thus, beginning to take an interest in these great visions is a first step we must take. So if you want to study more, you can take it with you. Second one, next, we need to embody the ethics of threefold unity, not just as a lofty slogan, but in our daily lives by living one life. What would that look like? One life. It starts with a fundamental shift in how we view our world. Imagine viewing the entire world as a one household, recognizing truth as one, seeing humanity as one vast family, and considering the world as one workplace. This is what we call the four great perspectives. Let me share a story from about 10 years ago at a children's mindfulness camp I led in Korea. We engaged in a creative activity where each child drew their home on a piece of paper and stood on it. When they invited their friends over, what do you think happened? Surprisingly, except for a few friends, most couldn't fit in. So we decided to transform my small home into a paper airplane and flew it away, shouting loudly, "The world is my home!" As a result, many children there could enjoy themselves and play together in the boundless great house. Imagine if we could let go of our small, isolated houses. What if the entire world become our home? We just taught the children the powerful philosophy. If there's no home, then there is no place that isn't home. Every action we take in our workplace, families, and schools can transform into acts of service that ripple out to the world. If all the growing children in this world live with such a grand worldview, what will the world look like in 30 years? When we see truth as one, we can let go of narrow-mindedness and attachment to our own religions, allowing all faith to cultivate friendship and harmony. If we view all of the humanity and sentient beings as one family, we cannot speak ill of others, harbor ill will, or deceive them, even when they are not present. Our energies are already connected as one, allowing for instant transmission of our intentions and feelings. And when we view the world as our workplace and everyone as a co-worker, we break down divisions. There are no longer those who do the work and those who don't, nor allies and enemies. Instead, we collaborate for the betterment of our shared world. And third, then we need to live a life of oneness without distance and boundaries. The world's massive conflicts often start from the distinctions and discriminations between you and me, this side and that side. When we begin to cling to one side, biased view emerges. And ultimately, the gap between us widens, leading to irreparable conflicts. This is what we call a mutual destructive relationship, where one side must disappear for the other side to survive. We may feel sorrowful when 1,000 members of our own ethnic group die, while justifying the death of 3,000 from another group. Therefore, we must find the courage to set aside our discriminatory thoughts, our tendencies to draw lines, and our biases, choosing instead to live a life of oneness and transcends boundaries. Even when we try to draw lines in an empty space, we can't actually create boundaries. that empty space exists within our minds. It is certainly there. If we don't erect boundaries between darkness or light and life and death, large or small, rich or poor, we can see that they are not separate, non-dual. However, the moment we establish boundaries and divide them, they become two. So instead of trying to eliminate paired concepts, we should strive to transcend good and evil, as well as the distinctions of big and small, and come as one. In my own journey, I once made up my mind to resolve these issues within myself. I often find myself thinking, I wish this person would change in this way. It was then that I decided to pause and practice looking at the people around me with an empty mind, letting go of all discriminations like this is good and that is bad. When I approached others with this mindset, I found that they naturally drew closer to me and began to address the things on their own. Instead of becoming two and interfering, our aim is to unite and make Buddha offerings as one. Cardinal Master Taeshan captured this essence with the slogan, "Let's align with the great way of Yeowon and realize the ethics of threefold unity to produce world peace." And fourth, the ethics of threefold unity represents the very heart of Cardinal Master Jeongsan, who dedicated himself to realizing the teachings of his teacher. Do you feel that heart within yourselves? Then we should establish a vow to uphold our teacher's teachings in one mind, one intention, and one life. Here we are fortunate to have Venerable Chuksa-nim close by. To truly live as one with our teacher, we need to reflect deeply. What does my teacher wish for? How does he want me to live? By contemplating these questions, we begin to discern our teacher's aspirations, and we find ourselves aligned on the same path. When we become fully united with our teacher, we ultimately live a life that is one with the truth. If even a single person can transcend all boundaries, taking the entire world as their home and embracing all of humanity as their family, then everyone can come together to live as one within that embrace. Today I shared with you the ethics of threefold unity as taught by Cardinal Master Jeongsan, outlining 4 paths to realize this teaching. Let's reflect on this path together. 1. Let's take an interest in our teacher's great vision and commit ourselves to study them. 2. We need to cultivate the perspective of seeing the whole as one and come to that understanding. 3. In every moment, our aim is to let go of discriminating thoughts and biases that arise, living as one according to the teachings of Yeowon. And 4. To know this realm of oneness, we must first unite ourselves with our teachers. Do you hear the crisis of suffering echoing from all corners of the world, from those around us, and even within our minds? This world, all of humanity, longs for the emergence of the ethics of threefold unity, and this era demands its realization. The ethics of threefold unity should not just be something we observe from a distance or reduced to mere slogans. It's about each of us striving selflessly for the world, no matter where we are in the world. As I wrap up my talk, I'd like to revisit the metaphor of blueprint. Imagine that we are trying to build one great house where the universe is one, the world is one, and all of humanity is one family. To construct this great house, we need a method, materials, and a design. Our teachings, specifically the Threefold studies and 8 articles, provide methods for building this house. And the Fourfold Grace and 4 Essentials gives us materials. And the blueprint for this grand house is the ethics of Threefold Unity. So who are the workers to build this great house? It's each one of us. Reflecting on the teachings of ethics of Threefold Unity, it is our responsibility to guide all of humanity to recognize that we are all those workers. So please form a triangle with your hands. With this sharp mindset, we can hurt others. Sharp. Now, let's bring our hands together to create a circle. The mindset of embracing the ethics of Threefold Unity and building a great house through our teachings reflect the attitude of master architect designing a vast universe. So, I sincerely hope that the vast and warm energy we feel from the teachings of the ethics of Threefold Unity today will reach the corners of the world gripped by fear due to war and conflict, bringing a warm spring to the hearts of humanity that have grown cold and frozen. Thank you.